Morning, Mr. Rutherford.
Hello there.
Come and take a seat. Is that okay to call you Neil?
Of course it is, yeah.
My name's Rob. I'm one of the physiotherapists who will be carrying out or working in the team that carries out pulmonary rehab or the programme. Really what this session is to kind of really give you an overview of what pulmonary rehab is, how the sessions work, what the aims are, and really what you're kind of, what you can take away from it, if that kind of makes sense. And so I've kind of just outlined some of the main points. Basically the class, or the programme is 6 weeks. You'll have 2 sessions a week. It'll be broken down into an exercise component and an education component with a coffee break, you'll be pleased to know, obviously vital. Basically the aims are, the exercise component will be about 45 minutes. Now that sounds daunting to someone who's got COPD, but essentially it's designed for people with COPD. So it's not relentless exercise, it's not boot camp, it's aimed to gradually increase fitness with plenty of rests, okay, so just to kind of allay any fears, because obviously you might be looking at that or thinking about that and thinking, God, how am I going to manage that? So don't worry about that. But so basically you've got your 45 minutes exercise, we'll have a little bit of a break, and then we'll have an education component, which is basically like a presentation on one of the areas around COPD, just to give you a bit more knowledge about the condition and kind of allow you to kind of talk to some of the other group members as well. So the overall aims we're looking at pulmonary rehab over the programme is to increase your muscle strength, especially the legs, increase your fitness, or what we would call aerobic capacity, increase your knowledge of the disease, and also some coping strategies around breathing techniques. And this, with the idea, or rather the aim, will be to kind of improve your day-to-day living, how you manage the condition going forward. So by giving you some skills, we're kind of looking at long-term management so that you can kind of become more skilled in your own management of the condition, which basically gives you a degree of control back, which is obviously a big factor that a lot of people struggle with COPD. They feel like the disease is controlling, or not the disease, the condition is controlling them, if that makes sense. So really what you're going to have an initial assessment. Now again, that sounds fairly dramatic, but think of it just like a basic health check. We'll look at your blood pressure, your oxygen levels. We'll also do a 6-minute walk test. But this is basically going to be a case where you walk for 6 minutes and we check your oxygen levels and heart rate at the same time. You're allowed to rest during it, so it's not, we're not going to frog march you down the corridor or anywhere. It's very relaxed as well. The idea behind the initial assessment is that we can get some baseline results so we can see how you progress and also show you how you're progressing as well. So that you can kind of see on paper, apart from just feeling better, well actually I was here and now I'm here. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. So the class is basically aimed at having fun. Exercise can be fun, it doesn't have to be fearful, which is obviously a case with because of breathlessness for a lot of COPD patients. So exercises will include a kind of aerobic aspect or a kind of strength aspect. So for example, the resistance exercises can be knee bend, so like if you like almost like doing a squat or a mini squat. To work the legs, you might do some arm curls or like a wall press. Again, it's all very graduated. It's it's not to the point of collapse at all. The cardio or the exercise component in terms of getting the heart rate up a little bit. We might have you sitting on an exercise bike. We might have you walking on a treadmill. We might have you doing some step ups. The important thing is you're always allowed to rest. So it's not, again, it's within what you can manage. There'll be a warm-up and a cool-down element. We'll have some music, some nice relaxing music playing as well. And we'll also have some stretching, so obviously muscles can get a little bit tight. There's support on hand the whole time. There's trained professionals will be there. There'll probably be an assistant as well. So we'll be, people do look, overly tired. We can always take a reading of oxygen levels. But like I said, you're always allowed to rest anyway. So it's very much fun, relaxed, and kind of teaching you that exercise can be a good time really as well. So moving on, after the exercise aspect, we'll have a short break, tea and coffee. You'll be pleased to know, maybe some biscuits as well thrown in, and that will be followed by an education component. So we'll have. It'll be the physio team predominantly. We may bring someone else from someone else in the hospital in to talk about areas around COPD. So for example, managing breathlessness, some techniques, the importance of exercise, how to manage stress and anxiety, airway clearance, information about nutrition going forward, or even information about medication. And whereas we give you information, it's more of an interactive discussion in the sense that, you'll be able to chat with, often turns into kind of a group discussion, so you can kind of compare, stories with group members and, give each other tips and hints. And so it's quite a nice, relaxed, it's not a formal kind of presentation in that sense, it's very relaxed. And really, in relation to that, really it's the whole idea of the pulmonary rehab is to give you an idea that actually there are other people in the same situation. That other people have the same concerns and the same questions as you. You're not on your own in this situation. And I think attending the class and having a good time and meeting other people in the same situation really gives you an idea that you're not out there on your own. That actually there are other people who've gone through the same process, who have the same worries and concerns. Does that kind of make sense, really? I think that's, speaking to people who've done the programme already, that's one of the main things they kind of come out saying, that actually it's been great to meet other people who they realise have had exactly the same issues and fears about going to the local shop. And really the exercise isn't something to fear. The look of horror on people with often the look of horror on the faces of people with COPD, when you say exercise, a kind of ashen face. People often come to the class with that kind of first day at school look, and when they realise that actually it's good fun and they learn to kind of learn that exercise can really benefit them in the long run, it kind of changes their whole outlook on things. So really it's a really good experience in terms of the physical benefits, but also mentally. A lot of people suffer from anxiety, and it kind of gives them an outlook that actually, a much more positive outlook, that they can kind of get back some control, and that the condition doesn't dictate to them so much anymore. And so that's just really, I just thought I'd give you kind of an overview of what to expect. What I'll do, we're probably looking to start you the week after next. I've got this leaflet here. You can always contact me. You have my phone number and email address. I'll give you this leaflet. It's got some basic information, kind of outlines some of the things we've been through today. If you've got any concerns, feel free to contact us. But I hope that allays any fears or worries you have, and we'll look forward to seeing you and kind of getting started.
Sounds good. Okay.
Great, thanks for coming in, Neil, and we'll see you probably in a week or so.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Take care.